So on that note, when you're saying that the good guys at this end are concentrating too much here, letting the bad guys in, ADR.
ADR. I wondered how long it was before we got around to that.
Well, you've led me into it because you've said...
I was trying to avoid going down that route, but I knew we'd end up there at some point.
Here are the good guys, and let the bad guys in. So, over to you, Leon. You let the bad guys in.
I think there's a few things on here, and I think the first is if we go back to when it was implemented, we had a real opportunity when it was implemented to put some robustness in, and I don't think there was any lack of desire from the civil servants working on the bill to do that. It was simply at that point we were facing the vote on EU exit, and everything was we don't gold plate regulations. Yeah, we don't when we transpose. So it was transposed as is. So I think there's a few things that we have an opportunity now. We're not bound like that, and we still sit and wait for the consumer command paper. So I do think there are some things that we need to do, and I think there's something about fit and proper. Yeah, I think there's a real importantness to have a fit and proper person test. Now, I'm not going to go into who would pass and who would fail because we've probably got a different opinion of that. And speaking,
have we, Leon? Now, you think we called for a fit and proper person test? Our first report in 2016. February 2016. Now, without going into names or anything like that, what we suggested that you looked at for a fit and proper person test was, I feel, was poo-pooed, it was ignored. Do you feel in hindsight that should have been done now?
Look, from day one, if this had been us, we would have put a fit and proper person test in. Let's be absolutely clear. You look at one of the developments we've done with consumer code. So we brought in a fit and proper person test there. So if I was setting the standard and saying that you should have a fit and proper person test, and that's both for the organisation and the individual making decisions. I think both should be subject to a fit and proper person test. The issue we had at the time is we were auditing to a standard. So the standard is set centrally within that. So we can't arbitrarily put in a fit and proper person test without going.
So how much input did you have to that standard?
We had a fair amount, and we were trying to work with the civil servants there, and again, like I said, they were really keen to do so, to get some alignment between the codes. You look at Trustmark, have a lot of alignment there, so try and get it all aligned. But if you simply turn around and say, as a matter of political policy, that you can only transpose what's in the directive, then you can only transpose what's in the directive. So the directive didn't have that in, but it allowed individual authorities and kind of countries to add that if they wanted. So we missed that opportunity, and that was simply because we're in a very political world, and we still are. So I'd rather focus forward and the opportunities for the command paper. So that's the first thing. You need, if consumers are going to have confidence in this as a standard, and look, it works. It works in 99% of the cases. It works really well, and I think there's opportunity. But it's not about it just working well. It's about giving people the confidence that it works well. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So there's a level of transparency. So I think if you sit here and go, what amendments do we make? Stick a fit and proper person test in there. Make it transparent, and then actually that takes that argument away, doesn't it? Whether someone's fit and proper, because you've got a test there that we can all assess someone to. I also think
if you think on that though, if you think on Leon, you think of the Ombudsman Association, and obviously I'm going to say Ombudsman Association, their standards, that they clearly said there's a provider that isn't transparent. We've got concerns about the governance. They've got the dreadful pay-as-you-go model, which is obviously awful for all sorts of reasons. There's all the standards. Were Bays basically saying you can't do that?
But look, this is not put down on Bays. This is what is written in the legislation. So the legislation is absolutely clear that there is not a fit and proper person test. So you can't. So this is Parliament. This is Parliament saying that this is. So we've been involved in developing the directive. The directive says this. Parliament says that, and then everything flows from that. So again, and there were debates at the time about whether to put one in or not. And I think there was a lot of yes, let's have one in. But if you go in politics, if they turn around and say these are the overarching principles, and one of them was you don't add anything in, it comes back to the point, my frustration earlier on. You can have all these lovely conversations and you can get everyone lined up, but a political decision taken somewhere else within government sets a framework within which you have to make the best of.
So let's be clear here. Let's be really clear.
Yeah.
If you wanted a fit and proper person test, and we could put that into guidelines because you've had discussions. You said you had discussions that you want.
Yeah.
Well, who put the stop on that?
Parliament in the way it shaped the legislation. So again, if you look at a number of directives around that time, and I think we're talking. 2014 when it started coming across, something
15,
like that.
It was delayed, wasn't it, with the Consumer Rights Act? It was all delayed.
So you look at a number of the directives there that were transposed into UK legislation. They just at that point just went for the straight transposition model. So it was you do not add anything into directives when they come into UK legislation. You just straight transpose. So we missed an opportunity, and we missed an opportunity not because of any lack of desire within the departments we work with, not because of any malice, but simply that was government policy at the time. And for better or worse, we vote for governments. We have the democratic model we have, and that sets the mandate and the framework. What we have now with the command paper, hopefully, when we see that, is an opportunity to correct some of those issues in a slightly different political environment, if you like. Mm-hmm. So for better or worse, the EU exit vote's been done. That's parked, and we're extricating ourselves from that. So this is now an opportunity to say, if we didn't have that constraint at the time, what would we do? So definitely fit and proper.